my name is Karo, and this is my little corner on the internet where I share my craft with you guys, and it's mainly a knitting usually or yarn related hobbies, but I do sometimes have some art journaling to share, which I'm very happy to report at this time I do have something I want to share with you today. I actually have a few more things kind of outside knitting to share, and also some acquisitions, because yeah, it's been a while, but this is the first episode past Christmas, so obviously there is a few things that I acquired for the festivities. So yeah, welcome if you're a new here, not a new year. And welcome back if you are a returning viewer. And right off the top of the episode, I have a super exciting announcement. We're going to be doing a giveaway because I really want to celebrate the first few subscribers on this channel. And we've hit, in my mind, a milestone, which is 150 subscribers. Actually, the last episode we did hit 100, which is originally what I wanted to celebrate, but I just totally forgot to mention it in the episode. I kind of forgot, remember it at the very end, and I talked about it, but I ended up just editing that out because it was just weird and I don't know, didn't make any sense. So yeah, here we are celebrating 150 subscribers, which is even more exciting. But yeah, I thought I want to do a tiny little giveaway for that, just to appreciate the first subscribers, like once my channel is going to be big and I'm super famous, in like 200 years, whenever that's going to happen. But then the very first subscribers have a very low chance of winning. So I thought I'd do one early on, so that you guys profit from it, because I do appreciate you guys watching and liking my videos. But yeah, I'll talk about the whole giveaway thing at the very end. This time I really hope I don't forget it, but at least I mentioned it in the beginning, so that's already good. And without further ado, I think we just jump into the episode, and I'll share all the things I made with you. So the first category is finished objects. So I do have quite a few finished objects. Obviously, it's been forever since I uploaded my last standard giveaway episode, but I actually only have one to share with you. I'll probably insert quite a few snippets of actually a previous podcast that I tried recording like a month ago, but I was so low energy that even during editing, I was just like getting depressed. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to share this. But I had a few more things still at hand that I could share. But even then, I couldn't share the Christmas gifts with you. So let's get those out of the way. I knit 2 pairs of socks, which I don't even have a picture of to insert here. But if you're curious to see, I actually shared the curio socks that I knit for my mom in, I think it was the first Vlogmas episode that I did. And I always wanted to do this. I'm going to link this here if I manage to do this. I think it's this corner. I don't know. I always see people struggle figuring out the corner, and here I am struggling myself, but I think it's this one. So go check that out. I share the curio socks where they're all finished in nice, and I also gifted another pair of socks to my brother-in-law, which I don't have any footage or pictures of once they're done, but I do have shown them in the second Vlogmas episode, I believe. So go check that one out as well if you're curious. I knit both of these socks with the Schoppel Zauberball, but 2 different colorways. The curio socks for my mom, I used the Pause in Blau colorway together with a white tweed. I think it was Online Yarn, is like a main store, main brand, whatever thing here in Germany. And the other Zauberball that I used for my brother-in-law's socks was the Riverbed Or I guess Flussbett was a German name, but it's riverbed in English. So yes, really happy with those socks. The recipients were also, my mom is like, wow, I can actually wear these in my shoes. So that's pretty cool. And they're holding up as far as I've heard. Yes, is that all the gift knitting? Yeah, that's all the done gift knitting. And there is another finished object that I have here to share. And that is finally the Cumulus Tee by Petite Knit. So here I am in February showing you my finished object that I cast on in June, I think. So this took way longer than necessary, but nonetheless, I'm very happy with it. So yeah, it's a very, very simple tee. It's a raglan construction. It has a V-neck. You knit it top down, all stockinette in the round. And yeah, the pattern has longer sleeves. I think they're supposed to go kind of like just above the elbow, but I prefer shorter sleeves, so I barely knit a little bit longer, like maybe an inch after the sleeve separation before I cast those off. And yeah, nothing much else to say about this. I really love this. I used Pima cotton to knit this. I bought undyed Pima cotton at a shop called Webetante here in Germany. And I hand dyed it with indigo myself. And I really love how that looks. Just the life in the color. So yeah, that's really fun. It is bound off with an I-cord edge on all corners, not corners, borders that you do bind off. And yeah, I haven't really worn it. I kind of thought I would wear it now, but for some reason I don't really grab it. So I think it is gonna be a summer tee, which is the original intent anyway. So I hope I'm gonna wear this in the summer, but until then, I think I'll just put it into my wardrobe. But yeah, that's that. And I don't think I wanted to share anything else with it. I'm sorry if you keep hearing my baby phone, but my son, as you might have noticed, is not strapped to my chest. But he's actually sleeping in the garden. He's napping now for kind of a little bit longer periods. We'll see. Probably today he's only going to sleep for 20 minutes, but usually I have about an hour. So we should be able to get this episode in. Yes, I think the next thing I would like to talk about is mending. And I can only talk about it because, yet again, I don't have anything to show. But I will insert footage from my previous attempt at recording this episode. I did finish mending those socks I knit out of the yarn Mending from Retrosaria. I think the colorway was 210. Why I keep remembering this number, I don't know, but I do. So yes, the reason I don't have those to show anymore is they're in the trash. So I did put in all the effort in mending those socks, and I was really happy with the result. I put them on. It felt really nice. It was a little bit like not knowing how it is with the thickness of the mended sections, but it's really nice to wear them, but they just wore through again, like so badly that my whole freaking toe came out of the sock. And that after like 3 weeks of wearing them again, and I'm really giving my hand knit socks a lot of love these days. I'm actually currently wearing some again, so more on that later. I do enjoy hand knit socks at the moment, so I was wearing them together with all my other hand knit socks, which I don't have that many of, but still I managed to wear through them again in like within 3 weeks. So I really didn't feel like mending these socks every month or so. I think the yarn is just not good for socks. I don't know if it is a sock yarn. I think that's kind of what I thought I bought it for. But I cannot recommend it. I mean, at least on my feet. I mean, every feet are different, and but I wore through that in no time. I feel like I also wore through, and even felt it a little bit, as you would have seen the last time I showed it. So I thought it actually helped the whole sock strength, but it didn't. It still wore through. So yes, unfortunately, I had to throw those out because, again, I didn't want to keep mending them every 3 weeks or so. So that's that. I'll still be mending my socks, but I'll probably won't use Ortosaria Amundim for socks again. I do love the yarn though. I really like the dye of it and the feel of it, but I'll probably use, if I ever get some more, for a different project, not socks. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say there. So let's head into the next section, which is works in progress. So my first work in progress is technically one that should have been done for Christmas. That is the men's cardigan that I'm knitting for my husband. The pattern is out of the ARan Jacket pattern book, which is entirely in Japanese. But that actually is not such a big problem. I'm looking for the pattern that I can show you here. So this is the model I am making for him. And oh yeah, the designer is Yoko Hatta. I don't think I actually ever verbally mentioned it. I always just put it in the down bar. But yeah, that's probably because I can't read it. It might say on here somewhere, but I don't know because I don't speak Japanese. But anyways, since the last time you would have seen this, I made quite a bit of progress, but not as much as I would have liked in the time that had passed. So I think the last time you've seen it, I was working on the back. So that's finished. And I actually also attached it to the front pieces. And as you can see, I'm also done with the first sleeve. And I have also attached it. I have yet to try this on my husband. We did try on the jacket portion of it. I sort of put it together just like with a pin to kind of gauge how long the sleeves need to be. So I really hope those are okay. But yeah, so that's that. And I started on my second sleeve. I keep this in this project bag that I made myself out of leftover jeans fabric and some quilting fabric. And yeah, I just cast on for the second sleeve. I did that last night, so at the end of the night. So I didn't really knit on it that much. But yeah, that's where I am in this project. I'm slowly enjoying it again. So the whole reason why I haven't recorded an episode sooner is basically I just lost my knitting mojo again. That tends to happen for me over the winter, which is kind of funny because, I don't know, for most knitters I hear, they knit more over the winter period because summer, whatever, it's hot and yarn is just too warm in your hands. But for me, it's the opposite. And I think this year I figured out why. I think it has to do with the whole gift knitting thing. So I really don't want to do any more gift knitting. Generally, I think if anybody is going to get some knits from me, it's going to be in a voucher format or just as a surprise. But I don't want to just put the pressure on myself to knit something to a specific date. I just realized that just sucks the whole fun out of the project, the knitting, the process, everything just out. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I feel like I have to knit on something and I can't knit on something else, I just don't want to knit on it anymore, if that makes any sense. Like, I was really enjoying this process of this knit, but for some reason, as I was realizing, I'm tight on time, I won't manage it, and I felt like I had to knit on it quick, and I couldn't do anything else. Every night, I felt like I needed to knit on this. I couldn't, sit on my desk and do some art journaling or anything else. So yeah, it's that weird self-imposed pressure, I guess. I mean, obviously, I talked to my husband, telling him I probably won't get this done for Christmas. I talked about this in my Vlogmas episode, and he was like, yeah, it's fine, don't worry. But yeah, you still have that internal mind annoying thing that tells you need to knit on this. You promised, So I think that's the reason why I lost my knitting mojo then entirely. Then I didn't feel like knitting anything. I mean, I got those 2 pairs of socks done, which was fine, but that was the reason why I couldn't get this done either. And the other reason was we were sick. As you may be able to hear, I'm still sick. We're still not out of it. Like, it's just this flu season. Jesus, I'm such a winter person usually, but I'm so looking forward to spring and summer when we're finally done with all those flus. I've seen enough of it. But whatever. I'm not here to talk about flus. So that's how far I am in this project. The yarn I'm using for this is Knit Rennie Chunky Lamb's Wool, I think it's called. I don't know. You find different names for it, and this is the Freedom line, which means they're undyed. And this is a blend of 2 colors, like a more brown and a more beige, or dark beige, light beige kind of colors applied together, which gives this nice mold effect. But I find that you still see the texture very well. I can show you again. For some reason, it doesn't quite show up here in the podcast. I never seem to, what am I doing here? See this properly on screen. Well, maybe it's showing up now. But in person, you can really see the texture quite well. So I am happy with the yarn choice and how it's working up. And my husband likes it too. Let's see if he'll actually wear it. I hope so, because this is certainly a labor of love kind of project. But yes, moving on. So the next work in progress I have, which one do I show you? I'll show you this one. And this might be the reason why I'm actually finding back my mojo. I keep this project in my nice English paper piecing bag, which I'm very, very proud of. I really love this. But yeah, the project I'm talking about is my Indian Nights blanket. How do I show this? Okay, drop this on the ground. So I'm working on it again. Yay! But I have this project on weird tiny needles, so it's going to be very, very hard to show. I haven't made that much progress since last time you've seen this. Last time I was just done with the red square, so I added a bit of the teal color, and I'm now into the loon pattern. But yeah, I'm having fun with this. I'm really enjoying being back at this project. I think I was missing this project. That might have also been a reason why I lost my knitting mojo. But I'm really enjoying this, and I'm just forcing myself to be like, no, don't force yourself just to knit on this one project until it's done. It's too late for Christmas now anyways, so who cares? I'm just going to knit on whatever I feel like in order to keep my knitting mojo and actually get this project finished. So if knitting on other things will help me move the other project forward, that's what I'll do. And I think it's working. So yes, I'm really enjoying knitting this. So this is the Indian Nights blanket by Jenise Hope. Even though I'm not using her patterns, or at least currently, I'm using my own patterns, which I redesigned based on her patterns. I talked extensively about this before, so if you're curious, just go back a couple episodes where I show the chart of my finished blanket, or hopefully my finished blanket. But yes, chucking away at this? No, that's not the word. Trucking? I don't know. I'm working on it. Sorry. English is not my first language. But yeah, this is this project. The yarn I'm using is 100% Holst Super Soft, which is 100% wool. And I'm using a lot of different colors. If you're curious about the colors, either check out my Ravelry page, which I'll link below, or what was it? Episode, I don't know. I'll link it. I'll link the episode where I talk about this project a lot. I show all the charts and show all the yarn colors. I mentioned the colors as well in that. So yeah, I'm all about the linking today. I don't know why I never did this before, but now I'm like, ooh, I can link this. I don't know how many things I can link up there. Is that limited? I guess we'll find out. Okay, but yeah, so that's that project. And really enjoying it. Not that much to show for it, but that's okay. The last work in progress I have is a sock. And as I've mentioned, I'm really loving my hand knit socks currently. So I did cast on a pair out of the yarn that I used to mend the other socks that are now unfortunately in the bin. Yeah, so this is how far I am. And I'm just doing my standard vanilla pattern. So 1x1 twisted rib and stocking it for a little longer until I do a heel flap and gusset with the eye of the partridge heel. And yeah, enjoying it. And you might be spotting something that I haven't held in the camera before, and that is those needles. And there were a different kind of the same needle in my previous project as well. So let's head over. Oh yeah, sorry. No, let's not head over. Let's first tell you about this yarn. This is Lana Grossa, a Meilenweit Tutti Colori. I don't remember the color number. I'll put it in the thing here. I don't think I have this in my Ravelry projects yet. But yeah, so it's just like a off the rack sock yarn, but that's what I'm going for at the moment because of my not so nice experience with the other yarn, the non-nylon content yarn that I had. So yes, that's all my works in progress. Let's now move over to the acquisitions because there is a little bit there. And let's first get into the one I've kind of teased just now, and that is the Gu Shorties set. So I wished for this for my husband, which is maybe the reason why I'm feeling so bad that I'm still not done with this cardigan because this is such a nice present. But yeah, I asked him for these shorties in the smaller range of sizes. So I'm mainly thinking to use this for socks and also maybe sleeves for my thinner weight yarn projects. So yeah, the sizes range from a 2 millimeter, the smallest one, which is a 0, to 3.25, which is US 3 size needle. And yeah, it's certainly a learning curve with these. The funny thing is, I've ordered these before. I had these before and I tried these out before and I did not get along with them. So I returned the purchase. But I really wanted to give it another go because I think I've learned a little bit since then. And I don't think I tried it long enough. I think back then I really just was not into sock knitting. And I still am not a huge sock knitter, but I do appreciate my hand knit socks a lot. That's probably the most worn knitted item I have at the moment anyways, next to my shawls. So yeah, I really wanted to give this another go, and also the fact that I can knit my sleeves with this, I thought it would be good. And now I realized I can also knit my Indian Nights blanket with those needles, so that's even an added bonus. So I just see a lot of areas of use for these needles, and I just wanted to try it again. But yeah, it is kind of difficult to knit with them. I'm not gonna lie, it is quite tight in the hands and with the short needles and all that. But I think it'll just take a bit of time getting used to it. I'm already feeling much more comfortable with them than at the very beginning knitting with them. So we'll see. I think I just have to figure out the amount of stitches I kind of need for it to be comfortable. I certainly cannot knit. So the set, as you might have seen, comes with like 2 rows and they're the same size. So you get 4 needles of the same size and 2 of them are short. I think those are 5 centimeters long. Hang on. Put them back in the right slot. And the other one are 8 centimeters long. So, and you can do various combinations. You could technically knit with these 2 very short ones and in the circle, and you get 3 wires with it. I don't know the lengths of those off the top of my head, but certainly the shortest wire and those 2 is just way too tight. Like I could not. I don't know if there's anybody out there who could do that. But then you could obviously do one side the short one side the long one, or both sides the long ones. And on my socks now, and also on the Indian Nights blanket, I have the long ones on, as you can see. And that's nice. That works really nicely, and I think I'm using the longest and the medium length cable in the set with that. So obviously that's the most comfortable for the hands you can achieve with these short needles. And I think kind of training on the longer versions first, and then maybe I'll get into the shorter ones for whenever I would need that. For casting on the socks, I would need shorter ones, but I kind of thought I'll just do the twisted rib with my usual magic loop method, and then I'll go over into the knitting in the round with those shorties. And that's the reason actually why I do want to try the shorties instead of doing the magic loop, because I think I knit tighter that way. I just knit tighter when it's like completely in the round without the whole pulling the yarn, the cables through with the magic loop method, even though I do like that method. I don't have any problems with it. But I think I get a tighter gauge doing that, and that would help me with the general gauge problem I have with knitting socks on small size needles. So let's see how I get on with that. So far I am liking it much more than the last time, and yeah, not much else to say there, I guess. Yeah, loving these, and they're Xiaogu. I'm not sure if I actually said that. The shorties set in the small range. So, and if you did watch my Vlogmas videos, you know that I had an advent calendar, but I only got to share my first 2 doors of the advent calendar. So I did obviously want to not leave you hanging there and show you the rest of the yarns I got as well. I will quickly show the first 2 as well, just for continuity, or is it continuity? No, but for all the other ones who did not watch my Vlogmas videos, but I won't dwell too long on it. So I did get the advent calendar from Kraken Yarns, which is a German indie dyer located here in Hanover, or not here, I live in a different city, but it's very close by. And so I wanted to try that. I did get roped in by a mood board, which I'll put in here, that I really like the colors of. And I opted for the luxe version. And that meant that you get, next to a 100 gram skein of yarn, you also get a mini 20 gram skein of yarn, a project bag, and some kind of goodie in each door. And it is 5 doors altogether. So on every Advent leading up to Christmas, and then on Christmas Eve as well. So that's the whole how it works. And let me show you. I'm not going to do it door by door because I have it all pulled apart. I'm just going to show you all the bags. So just quickly, this is the type of bag. It's a very simple drawstring bag in different colors, and they have different fun designs on the front. So I'll just quickly run you through those. Little Kraken, the anchor, and cute fishy, I think this is, or an alien. I don't know. But yes, so that is those. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with them. I'll probably use 1 or 2 as actual project bags, but I tend to not have that many projects on the go, so I don't really need that many. So I'll see what I do. Probably use it for gifting myself, maybe. Or maybe for the giveaway. Maybe I could give one of these away, actually. That would be fun. Then I have something to wrap the other things I'm planning in here. So that's the bags. Then there was obviously some yarn, and I don't remember the order of these, so I'll just show them to you as I think they came in, but I might be wrong. This certainly was the first one, so if you watched the Vlogmas, you would have seen this one, which I really, really loved. I have to admit, I loved the yellow mainly. It's just such a nice golden yellow color. But also the brown yarn. I am still trying. I'm actually currently, I don't know if you can hear, simmering in the pot my alpaca silk fluff yarn. I'm trying to make it darker. Still haven't quite gotten around to that. I did already try adding a bit more black over top. Still didn't turn out dark enough, so I'm adding another layer. Either it's gonna turn out well now, or I'll just knit with it as is. It is looking nice, but I just wanted to have it just a touch darker. So I'll try layering it with another coat of black, and then I'll see if it's dark enough. But yeah, this is basically the color I'm kind of aiming for. Really nice, dark, deep brown. But anyway, so this was the first one. They call it a Seaport, the color. This is the logo of Kraken Yarns. And the whole advent calendar, the color inspiration they called Shadow Over Innsmouth, which I think is a book reference. I have not read that book. The yarn base they call Merino Grace, which is a 100% merino extra fine superwash, and it's a 400 meters in 100 gram kind of skein, and again the 20 gram skein in the different colors. So that was door number 1. I think I remember door number 2 as this one, which was a nice deep blue. Really, really love this. The mini is more of a greenish brown. They call the color Zadok. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I don't know the order of the next ones. This might have been door number 3, which is a teal, a greenish teal with a red mini. Color is called Unblinking Eye. And I think the next one was this, which I love a lot. So that's a bluish green with like rust colors. And the mini goes really nicely with this one. This color they call Deep One. And the last one is again a teal and a more orange mini, and this one is called Dagon. So yes, I really like them. I'll show them all together. I don't think I'm going to use them all in one project, but there's certainly combinations worthwhile trying. I think those two are very, very similar. That might be the only complaint I have. But then again, I like those colors. So it's not a problem that they're very similar. But I don't know. I think they're not similar enough to kind of use them in the same project, kind of fading one into the other. But they're also not different enough to... I don't know. What did I just say? No, I don't think it makes any sense. But yeah, no. You would just notice that there are two different colors if you kind of treat them at the same, but they're also not different enough to actually distinguish two different sections that you intend. I think that makes more sense. I hope you know what I'm trying to say. But I do love them all. So this was certainly a win for me, and the yarn is obviously the main ingredient to an advent calendar. So I'm very, very happy with what I got here. And let's quickly look at all the goodies that were in the bag. Certainly will not be able to remember which was in what, so I'll just start. I'll show you this one, which was definitely in one of the first two, which is a measuring tape, which I really loved because mine was certainly saying goodbye to me. So this was perfect timing. I'm already using this. Then I got a little trial of the Yucalan in the grapefruit and pomegranate. Was it? Oh no, it was pamplemousse, not grapefruit. Pomegranate. Smell. Then we have a little baggie, which is cute. Unfortunately, I don't really know what I'm going to do with this, but it doesn't matter. Maybe I can put my cable stoppers in there. That might be a good idea. But with this, came a little, hang on, progress keeper, or no, this is words aren't coming to me today. You know what this is. A little bling for your knitting. And oh yeah, hang on, putting my cable stoppers in there reminds me, and they were also needle stoppers, but I'm also already using those, so let's get those out. Those tulip needle stoppers that you put on the tips of your needles, so those are really cute. I'm using them for my sock. That's the one thing, you certainly need those when you're knitting with those shorties, because especially if you have like a lot of stitches on them, if you're not careful, you're gonna lose them all because you don't have a whole lot of space in the round cable thing. I'm sorry. I'm starting to be a bit frazzled. I don't know why. But yeah, I am using them with the shorties needles. That's all I meant to say. So then I got this super beautiful scissor, which people are big fans of, so I'm very curious to try them. I have not, because I've kept this on here to show you guys, so now I can finally put it in my notions pouch and try these, which I think this is a crane. So yeah, that's that. And I got a few darning needles, which are for very thick yarns, which is nice for my current project, although I'm actually using different ones for sewing up the cardigan, just because those again have been here, so I have not actually put it into my active notions pouch. Then we have a needle gauge, which I don't really use these since all my needle sets that I'm using have the numbers written on them, so I really don't need this, but if I ever do need this, probably would be nice, but I do have other ones as well. Anyways, rambling. And the last item is a set of knitting needles, and I think I shared these also on my first Vlogmas episode, kind of talking a bit more about these. But basically, these are bamboo knitting needles in the 3.5 millimeter thickness, and it's 100 centimeter 40-inch cord. And the specialty, which I'm curious about trying, is that the joins they twist 360 degrees. So I have not knit with that style needle, but I'm gonna have to wait for my next shawl project, I think, because otherwise I don't really know where I would need a 1 meter cable. Because yeah, it's certainly too long for a sweater, for instance. So yes, whenever I cast on my next shawl project, I hope I'll remember to use these, because I am curious to try these. But yes, I hope that was all the goodies. There was obviously some chocolates and things, but those already are gone naturally. But yeah, so that was all my acquisitions. I'm really happy with all that I received for Christmas and leading up to it. So that was pretty exciting. And okay, so now it's a little bit later in the day. The battery actually also ran out, so I had to charge that. Meanwhile, my son woke up, we had some lunch, I had to change. And now we're back at doing this since my son is back asleep. So let's hope we can finish this off, because I only have like half an hour left before I need to leave the house. But I really wanted to finish filming this episode. And yeah, we just finished the acquisitions, so now I wanted to share some journaling with you guys. And first off, some real written journaling. And I think I showed this 5-year Hobonichi journal once before, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an update with it on how I'm doing with this. And I'm getting along with it so-so. So I really love it. That's the main thing. I really, really love it, and I'm really trying very hard to stay on top of it. And I am sort of on top of it currently. So I think only like 2 days behind in the January. But as you can see, there is some post-its in here, and those mark the pages that still need an entry. And there's a big chunk missing here in June, July, or I think this is actually July, August. And then again, there's already a little smaller chunk. It was quite big in December that bled until January. So I've been lately really, really working on catching up in this book. And the main reason I'm actually succeeding with catching up with this book is Baiban, who in the first place inspired me to get one of these. And she's doing one thing in here, which is writing big headers. And she's just using like fun, colorful pens to write bigger headers in the book. And that obviously takes up quite a bit of space. And then you only have a little bit left to fill it. And I really, really like that for two reasons. The one, I kind of already told you just now, it takes up a lot of space, so you are quickly done with your entry. And the other one is you see quite quickly what was happening that day. So this is an example where I virtually only did the header. It was where it uploaded the first episode of Vlogmas. But I also do these days where I have like here, my kids were sick. So I still write a little bit. It depends, you know, I'm doing like whatever here. My daughter had a big fever. It was a big 40 degrees. So stuff like that. I really enjoy that, and I like the look of it. It makes it definitely a bit more exciting, since I have not really kept up with sketching in the book, because that would just mean I would fall behind even more. And yeah, I'm slowly trying to catch up. And I took this as a reason to buy some new fancy pens, although they're not that fancy, honestly, because they're like a no-name kind of brand from Amazon. But I got these acrylic paint pens, which are advertised for like stone painting. So they're like opaque markers with like a felt tip. Hello. Oh, got this weird tracking going. Hang on. Like this felt tip pen nib. And yeah, I'm really liking these. I'm using these, and I'm also using my Crayola Super Tips. Oh, hang on, something. There, is it working now? Yeah. Yeah, the Crayola Super Tips, those are much older. I've had them for a while. I think this one's actually dead, this pen. Yeah, has a yellow nib, not a turquoise one anymore. So yeah, those two are kind of helping me writing those headers, and that is really speeding up the process of catching up in my book. And I'm very happy about that. And I'm really hoping to eventually get rid of all those post-its that I have in here. But yeah, so that's going pretty well. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to share with you is my art journaling. And I'm happy to report that I finally found my mojo back to art journaling. In January, I picked back up my art journal from the Wanderlust classes, and I just looked at it and I was like, oh, there's a bunch of nice spreads in here that I'm actually quite proud of. So I just went back on the Wanderlust art classes page, which I'll have access to for the rest of my life. And just rewatched the class that I got stuck on here, and figured I'll just do it. And I don't have to stick with what she's saying at all. I mean, I kind of stopped doing that anyways, but I try to incorporate something of her class into the page. And that's what I did. So I don't remember the teacher's name, so I'll put that down below. But the main thing that I took from her class is cutting out these random text sections of a book, like an old book that I have, that just jumped out at me, and kind of rearranging them to some sort of a poem. This is obviously in German now, so if you are able to speak German, you can stop and read my funky little poem, but I'm not gonna try and translate it. But the rest is really more inspired by the things I learned from the classes I took by Ban, and the style that I really like and I'm trying to develop for myself. So that's how this turned out. I really, really like it. I think the contrast in this page works really, really nice. I also like the colors, like the black and purple is quite nice, I find. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how this turned out, and didn't really take me that long. I think I worked on this for like 2 or 3 evenings maybe. So yeah, this sparked certainly my mojo, and I did not wait long to continue with the next art journal spread. But one thing I did before I got into the next art journal spread is actually getting into this. So I like doing the altered books. So this is an old book, just an old novel, a really, really old one. As you can see, it has like this very old school German lettering. And I've had this forever, this book, and I think I always just felt a little bit too precious about it. I really wanted to use it for our journaling. It has this like really nice and thick and hard cover pages. So I thought that would be really nice for an art journal because it would keep everything in there quite secure. But there was always too many pages in here. This was like pretty thick, this book, probably like this, and filled with pages. So what I did, I took out probably more than half, or at least half of the pages of the book, and then I rebound the book with this book. It's not tape, it doesn't stick, but it is for bookbinding, this kind of fabric material. But I kept, like this is from the original cover, but this is new. And I bound it basically the same width as it was before, but since there is like a bunch of pages missing, there should be a lot of space in here now to add collage without breaking the spine towards the end when this book is filling out. Which is gonna take a while since there's like over 100 spreads I can do in here, but I'm preparing for the future. But let's look into what I'm working on right now. And I've had the Ban Hallowed Ground class running while I was working on this. So naturally, I got heavily inspired by the process I saw there. But I really just had it as a background. I wasn't really following it to the T. But once I was ready for putting the illustration in, that was certainly something I took from that class. But I think it ended up being a bit too big. I'm not sure if I ruined the page. I don't know. I'm not done with it. Maybe I can salvage it. I'm not crazy happy with how it is right now. I think the illustration is just too big for the page. Because at first I was really happy with the size of this book, and I still am. But I think this particular illustration is just too big for the page, and I should have actually put that in my other art journal, which is much bigger. And I think would have hosted this size illustration much better. But we'll see what we get here. I was really, really happy with like this side. Like I really like this super crazy pink in there with the, I used like Payne's Gray as the dark color here. Like I really just liked what was happening with the colors. And again, the contrast, I seem to be getting the contrast at the moment better in line than I used to. At least that's what's making me happy about my pages at the moment. So that's good. Seems that I'm learning a little bit. But yeah, we'll see where this page is headed. This is certainly not done, but I'm liking most of it. Not everything, but I'm liking most of it. And I really, really like this book. The size is really nice. It's much smaller than the other one. I think that was also a bit the problem. It's quite big, especially when you open it. It's like bigger than A4 size, or like letter in US, and that's double. So it's quite a big page that you have to fill with something. And I like to have a little bit of a plan when I start a spread. So yes, but that's the 2 spreads that I've been working on and finished and currently am working on. And then there's one last thing that I wanted to share with you, and that's a little bit of a random one. But I thought I'd share it with you anyways. But that's kind of what filled the hole of my mojo lacking, a knitting mojo, kind of after Christmas and before I found my art mojo. And that was a new rabbit hole that I fell down into. And it started actually with the advent calendar of my daughter. Again, if you would have watched my Vlogmas episode, you would know that I had like a little parcel advent calendar for her. And one of the parcels was a tiny little diamond painting kit for a Christmas card that we did together. And I realized, this is quite fun. And I started just binging YouTube videos about diamond painting and how to do it. And I ended up purchasing one because that was just like right before we went to my mom's place where we would celebrate Christmas. So I just ordered something cheap and quick off Amazon so I could get going and fill that need for a diamond painting. So I purchased myself a diamond painting kit. And I virtually just got this particular one because I needed to do diamond painting. I don't think I'll ever put this up on my wall or anything, but this is the kit. Oh, hang on, let me just get rid of the cover foil because it's not sticking anyways. So yes, as you can see, it's Starry Night by Van Gogh. I highly doubt that this is a licensed artwork. It's just off Amazon. It's not done yet. Like there's still, as you can see, partially sticky surfaces here. It's a kit with round drills. And yeah, but I'm really, really enjoying it. It is fun. It is just fun to do. It's like paint by numbers, but with these stones that you stick on the sticky surface. You have a legend. This particular picture uses 19 different colors. What's the size? I was actually trying to find the size. It's 40 by 30 centimeters. I don't know if that's the width of the whole, what's this called, canvas, or if it's probably the picture itself is a little bit smaller. But yeah, so this is how far I'm here. On this one, I actually do color by color. So I picked out one color and I just did it across the whole picture, and then I picked out the next color. But with my next project that I'm gonna show you, I'm actually doing it differently. I'll just do it section by section, which is what most people do, at least on a bigger pictures. So yes, so I kind of got the bug. Hang on, I need to be careful which side I'll put on here. For diamond painting, and as I said, I've binged a lot of YouTube videos, particular one by a German YouTuber. I'll link her below. She's called Heidi, and her channel is Craft and Wedding, and she does a whole lot of different things. Like she does like, I don't even know the English terms for that, but she does stitching and crafting, and I don't know, but she also does diamond painting. And she had a few videos on there on how to do your own diamond painting with your own picture and just do the whole kit yourself. And naturally, that's the route I took. Of course, you start a new hobby. Why make it easier on yourself and buy something, which I ended up doing in the end. But actually, the first thing I embarked on was trying to create my own diamond painting kit. Because when you go on these diamond painting homepages where you can buy the kits, I just did not like the pictures. They're similar to like puzzle pictures, and I think the pictures they choose for diamond painting are pictures that lend itself well for that kind of stuff, you know, that is like puzzle pictures, for instance, they're just fun to puzzle. They're not necessarily super pretty that you want to hang up your wall. They're just fun to do. And I think that's kind of the same approach they take with choosing the pictures for diamond painting, because it would be terribly boring to do like an entirely gray picture and then you have like a pop of red somewhere, and the rest of the picture you just have to do gray, kind of thing, you know? You get the idea. So it needs to be sort of fun to do the diamond painting. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really feel like to have like a kitten up on my wall. I don't even know if I'm going to ever put any of my diamond paintings up on the wall because I'm not that sparkly of a person. If there would be like diamond painting with like matte stones out there, I would totally probably prefer that. But oh well, I'm doing diamond painting now. So I cannot really show the full piece that I ended up doing kitting up for myself because it's not licensed, and that's the main reason why I couldn't find it online. And you can even send in a picture to a diamond painting company and they make it into a diamond painting for you. But again, you need the license for the picture. So you can only do pictures that you took yourself or that you have like the artist or whatever is allowing you to use that picture. But since I didn't have that, and it's just for me, I mean, it's just for fun. It's just for me printing it out on my own printer and not really sharing the whole thing. I just want to kind of share what I'm doing. So yeah, let me just show you. But there is this cool method of making these plates. So what you do, you chop up your picture in like A4 size pieces and paint them, and then you can stick them all together in the end, and then you have your full diamond painting. And there's software out there for pixelating your pictures that you have. And here I can just open up. Yeah, this is easier. Yes. A partial image. So I printed this on my printer at home. And then I laminated it with self-adhesive lamination foil. And I just stuck it on the wrong way, so to speak. And then if you pull this off, you have a sticky surface where you can stick your diamonds on. And then you you leave off the outermost 2 rows with the diamonds, and then you stick it together, and then you fill in those rows so that you don't have this weird gap when you're sticking them back together. And yeah, that's what I've been doing. I can show you one plate where it's really not recognizable yet which picture this might belong to. So I might as well share this. And this is how it looks once it is all stuck with diamonds. And I'm really, really enjoying it. So here again, I left the outermost 2 rows on the sides where it gets attached to the rest of the picture. And then I'll eventually fill that in once it's all in one piece. But yeah, this is really fun. I actually got myself like a little table that I can put on the couch, that I can do this on the couch with my husband. Because I started doing this on my desk and it actually really hurt my back. Like leaning over like that was really not good for my back. But I was enjoying the process of it anyways. And then I got myself this table, which I also want to use for our journaling, so that I can be with my husband in the evenings together, and I'm not locked up here in my art room and my husband is all alone over in our living room, because we do like to spend the evenings together, even though we might be doing separate things, but it's still nice doing those separate things together in a way. You know what I'm saying. If you have a busy life with a partner trying to find time together. Anyways, so that is all that I meant to share with you today. I wanted to talk a little bit just general life stuff and also about the giveaway. Don't forget the giveaway. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of address or tell you about the rest of December, since I've only uploaded 2 episodes, or Vlogmas, episodes of the Vlogmas, and that was mainly because we were just sick. I mean, we're still sick, and it was just not fun. I didn't like the energy going forward, and I was feeling miserable, or my daughter was feeling miserable, and there was just no point filming that and putting that out in the internet. And here's my son waking up again. Let's hope he'll just chill for a little bit. And yeah, so that's why I left it where it was. But I really did enjoy those 2 episodes that I did so far, and I'm really thinking of doing this again. I'll certainly try the Vlogmas next year, but I might even try filming just in the summer where we're actually a little bit more active. I guess I have a few more things to share during the summer where we're out and about, maybe traveling. So yeah, I'll just pick a nice time, I guess, and maybe try this vlogging thing again. Just here and there, maybe more like studio vlog type content. But yeah, I definitely realized that I do enjoy it, and it's just nice for my own memory keeping. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, now to the giveaway. So what I thought for the giveaway price, I don't have anything to show you just now, but I thought I would just get a nice skein of yarn and maybe a project bag that I made myself, and have that the price for the giveaway. And the way to do this, I have no idea if this is going to work, but since I obviously didn't do a giveaway before, but I thought the way to enter for the giveaway is obviously comment down below, and maybe I'll give you guys a little password just so I know you actually watched the episode and we don't have some trolls that just click on it because it's going to say giveaway in the title and say something yay down there. So yeah, the password is going to be diamond. Why not use the word diamond? That's what's coming to mind right now. So yeah, just write diamond and whatever else you would like to say. And yeah, please subscribe to the channel. And then I'll draw a winner for next episode. And now my son is really angry at me that I keep talking up here. So I'll leave you guys here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.